Hey yo, this is Koi. Today let's take a look at Myer Audio's IEMs. Myer Audio is an interesting brand that actually started out doing OEM work for other companies before stepping into the IEM market. They had a strong start with the CKLVX D41, which caught the attention of many in the audiophile community. Since then, Myer has continued putting out more IEMs, each tuned a little differently at different price point. And in this buyer's guide, I'm going to break down their current lineup, talk about what makes each one unique, and hopefully help you figure out which models suit your preference the most. Starting from the cheapest and working the way up, we have the SLA3. Which is this one. It features one dynamic and 3 balanced armature, coming in at $110. The SLA3 has a somewhat unconventional bass tuning with a mid-bass tuck and an enormous sub-bass shelf that can make the bass feel hollow and pillowy to me. It lacks a bit of air and treble extension, and together with the forward mid-range, it makes the SLA3 sound very contrasty. The SLA3 also has a very interesting soundstage presentation that is kind of long and deep for an IEM. And overall, the contrasty sound is not something that I gravitate toward, as it can feel like there are parts of the frequency lacking or missing. That said, I have heard that the SLA3 can be an excellent IEM for EQ with its soundstage, and I think Duckbloke has some EQ profiles that are worth checking out. Moving up to $170, the CKLVX D41 features one dynamic and 4 balanced armature. It's got that fun, punchy mid-bass and really nice vocal presence that I find to work really well for both male and female vocals. Not only that, it has a great sense of air and detail in the treble, which balances out the bass and give it a more balanced, pleasant tonality overall. The D41 being the IEM that made Myer popular, I feel has aged very well. It honestly still stacks up to some of the newer IEMs today, but unfortunately, it is kind of just forgotten and no longer talked about. Next up, the SL41 also features one dynamic and 4 balanced armature driver setup, as the D41 coming in at $180. It has a similar tonality to the SLA3 and fixes what I felt like was lacking on the SLA3, making it less contrasty and a nicer tonality overall. Similar to the SLA3, it has a huge sub-bass shelf, but adds in slightly more mid-bass, giving the bass a bit more body and less of the pillowy feeling. The mids are similar to the SLA3, where it is forward and the treble is greatly improved with a better sense of air and extension. The CK2V features a dynamic driver, 4 balanced armature, and 2 microplanar, and is Myer's first tribrid, coming in at $180. The CK2V follows a similar bass tuning as the SLA3 with the huge sub-bass and mid-bass dip. This time, because the upper mid-range is less forward, the vocals feels a lot more natural and full as you get more body from the lower mids, and kind of sounds like this when you compare it to the SLA3. The mid-bass dip is also less accented, and the overall tonality feels less contrasty like on the SLA3. The amount of air and upper treble that the CK2V has can be both good and bad. It can help add micro details with the help from the microplanars, but can be too bright to some people or on certain songs. Lastly, similar to the SOA3, it shares the long and deep soundstage. Stepping into the $200 territory, the D62 features 2 dynamic 6 balance armatures coming in at $220. The D62 has a mild V sound signature that leans on the brighter side with the elevated upper mids and treble. This emphasis can make the D62 a bit shouty, and vocals lack some body in the lower mids. The treble is airy and energetic, but can also get fatiguing at times. The bass is linear with good texture, but it doesn't take the spotlight like the upper mids and treble. Next up, the SL224, which I recently reviewed on the channel. It features 2 dynamic, 2 balance armature, and 4 microplanar setup, coming in at $270. The SL224 has what I would say is the most neutral tuning of all the Myer IEMs. It has all the right coloration to a neutral sound signature that makes it fun. There's a slight sub-bass boost, and the overall upper mid-range and treble are slightly lifted, making it a mid and treble focus set that is excellent for female vocals. The only downside to the SL224 is that it can be a bit shouty and bright to some people. Lastly, the SLT6 features 6 balance armature and is Meyer's most expensive IEM, costing $450. I do not have the SLT6 with me right now, so we will use this little CC8 Polaris as its replacement. The SLT6 has a very V-shaped sound signature with 2 tuning switch that can change the bass and treble slightly. With the V-shaped sound signature, you get very fun bass and treble, but in turn the mids lack some body to it. The SLT6 also has excellent technicalities, making it an extremely fun and exciting set that works especially well for certain genres. Now I want to quickly rank them by different categories into different tiers. Starting with the bass, the SL224 has the most textured, controlled, dynamic bass. The SLT6 loses out to the SL224 a little with its controlled but less dynamic BA bass. Then the D41 and D62. Below that would be the CK2V and SL41 with the weird mid-bass dip. Lastly, the SOA3 at the bottom of the barrel. Now for the mids, the SL224, D41, CK2V all kind of land in the same tiers for different reasons. The 224 has a neutral mid-range with excellent female vocal harmonics. The D41 has a nice warm mid-range presentation, and the CK2V also has a very nice neutral mid-range. And below that would be rest of the Myer IEMs, all kind of decent and okay for vocals. As for the treble, the SL224 and SLT6 will be at the top. Then the SL41, D41, D62 all kind of landing in the same tier. Below that is the CK2V, as the upper treble can be kind of bright and sharp. Lastly, the SOA3 is on the bottom as it kind of just lacks the air neck extension. Technicality wise, it will kind of be like this, with the SL224, SLT6 at the top, then the CK2V, D62, below that would be the D41, SL41, and then again, the SOA3 at the bottom. As for Soundstage, this is something that Myer IEMs are all surprisingly good at. Starting at the top, we have the SL224 with its wide overall soundstage, and the SLT6 being kind of tall and wide. Next is the CK2V, SOA3, D62, all sounding kind of long and deep. Lastly, the D41, SO41 kind of just has your average IEM soundstage. Lastly, I want to rank them by my overall enjoyment. Coming in at the top, it's probably not a surprise, but the SL224 is my favorite Myer IEM. That is just a great all-rounder and has excellent female vocal harmonics that I like a lot. Next will be the D41, which may be old in the audiophile market, but still has a very fun sound signature that competes with newer IEMs. SLT6 is next with its fun V-shape and technical sound. The only reason that it is below the D41 is because it doesn't have the best mid-range. Next, the CK2V I thought was surprisingly great for its mid-range, but the sub-bass and upper treble is just too much sometimes. The SL41, D62 all kind of land in the same tier, as they're just both kind of average and doesn't really shine and surprise me in any way. Lastly, the SOA3 is probably also not a surprise. It just has a very unenjoyable mid-bass dip and lacks treble extension. Personally, I think Myer has a lot of potential given their expertise doing OEM work and helping other companies tune their IEMs. They have made some great IEMs like the D41 and SL224 that I am a fan of, and I'm excited to see what other IEMs Myer can come out with. If Myer decides to release more IEMs later this year, I will add more information down in the comments. And that's about it for the Myer IEM Buyer's Guide 2025. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.